Big welcome to you, my dear Libra. So as you can see, I continue the readings. I changed a few things and I decided that it's an impasse sometimes, right? Sometimes we get blocked. We don't see something and we continue. And yeah, here I am. And I'm glad because now the sun is in Virgo, in the Hermit. You can see that the path to the light, he harnessed the light in his lantern. He's up at the mountain again where the Fool has started, and you recognize this journey. You go this journey again and again and again. And so here comes this moment, right, where the sun in Virgo is giving the light, of course, to the moon, which is in your sign right now. And here you're learning to see and find the light. Here's the light and here's the light, and you can literally create like a circle, right? And we see the light emanating from the sun, and he's holding the sun in the lantern. And so you are going to the left, and so you going to the left. In the next reading, you have your new moon. And this is where I am working at, right? I'm seeing, okay, here the new moon is coming. And of course, it's important that we understand how all of that functions. But my real focus right now are the court cards. So we have the Queen of Swords. And here we have a mix, right? We have the Queen of Swords, which has the Hermit above her. And this combination I did in the previous reading because the moon was in Virgo. And that's between the 12th to the 23rd of September. Is your birthday there? Then you look in the previous reading and see there the combination. I also put dates because I have 2 court cards per reading, and so this was in the last one, just that you know. Then we have the classical Libra, where justice is above as a soul aspect, and here the Queen of Swords below, and that's between the 24th of September to the 12th of October. Is your birthday there, right? Then you are the classical pure Libra, right? And this I'm doing today. And then we have to the next zodiac sign, which is Scorpio, also a combination where Scorpio has above Libra and below is the King of Cups already, and that's between the 13th to the 23rd of October. And this I have from Aleister Crowley, so it's not just something I'm doing because I feel like it. This I want to explore, I want to understand, and that's why I'm actually putting the time for the King of Cups. Is your birthday here between the 13th to the 23rd of October? You will see below in the description a number where the reading starts for you. So you don't have to listen to the Queen of Swords, but sometimes it's maybe interesting to hear that as well, right? Because maybe you are connected. Back to the last reading where we had Leo Sun giving Libra Moon the light, and we had Uranus and Gemini as a station. Those stations are finished now. We don't have an outer planet moving into a new zodiac sign. We have like Mars and Venus and Mercury, right? These are planets who are shifting faster. The Uranus in Gemini is 7 years, right? And what goes really fast is Jupiter. 1 year it's going to stay in Cancer, but Uranus in Gemini was the last one where it's going to stay for 7 years in communication, right? And so the Queen of Swords last time, she got your mind fights new money coming in. And the King of Cups still holding on to that mountain in your head. And I looked if there's a recurring card, and there is not. So we can begin. We begin with the Queen of Swords. And what I'm changing is I want to go deeper into the details of the card that comes out of the deck of the Queen of Swords. Each 22 major arcanas has their own deck. And so here comes the Prince of Cups. And he's a Pisces, and he's looking over at her, and she's looking over at him. And he's flying with his chariot, and she's like holding a head which is dripping blood. I mean, this card is so brutal, and it's saying that you cut off ego, right? And here's the sword, and it's almost like he's like, well, I'm holding a snake that's coming out of the cup. It's like, what do you want from me? Maybe he's scared of you, right? He's like, okay, I'm leaving. But you see that here the 7 and the 12 becomes the 19, and the 19 is the sun. And the sun in Virgo, right, the Hermit, is literally saying, well, then the 10 appears when we unite the 19, but in the 19 there's a 9. And so that 9 is saying, well, find the light deep within you. And so the 19 turns into a 10, or when we unite, the 1 and the 9 is a 10, and that 10 is a new cycle that is coming at you, right? And you are gonna noticing that, because in the next reading you have your new moon, and then you're going out again. You're going out into the world again. Now you're going within. So what is the King of Cups saying? He is getting out of his deck the dream, which is the 6 of Cups, which is Sun in Scorpio. And the dream is the dream of being in love, seeing the people that are happily together. And it's almost like he is that dreamy aspect, right? The King of Cups, Pisces. But here the Sun in Scorpio, Scorpio is here Odin, a deep mystic, right? He's connected with the 8th house of transformation. You are connected with the 7th house of relationship and love. And it's almost like you are looking at this King of Cups. Maybe you want something from him. Maybe you want a relationship. But he's scared of you because you're holding that sword. And not just a sword, that clear thinking. You're holding a head. And he's like, that could be me. And so we had here the 10 left. The 6 is the 16. There's Mars. Mars is the warrior. The warrior, right? That is like, okay, what is going on here? So now I'm going to look at this card, right? Because here is a court card, and we see that the court card, the Pisces, is saying, well, you are really dreaming about a relationship. So what is the 6 of Cups bringing? Sun in Scorpio. I'm going to put you aside for a moment. The Sun is bringing the element fire and the number 8. And that's Scorpio, right? Scorpio is the 8. That transformation. The fire, the igniting spark. You are wishing that. That's behind her. Look at that. And she's looking at that. And the snake is pointing at that. You see that? And he is looking at you. So interesting. I'm going to put you back. Just putting you away because I cannot hold so many cards. But it's interesting to see how they talk to each other. And she's looking at you and she's like, yeah, I know. Maybe I have to let go of this. Right, the 10 and the 6, the 16, then the 7, the emotional intelligence is left. Have the emotional intelligence, the 7, to understand that you cannot just cut a head off. The 7 and the 8 is the 15. So at work, you are dreaming about more. You are dreaming about something that is not fulfilling itself yet. And so the 15 then turns into a 6. The 6 is here, right? And the dream that you have, these dreams, we are not dreaming about things anymore, because Neptune in Aries is going to be like, we're going to take action. We're going to take action about it. So take action. And so now I want to see what is actually Scorpio bringing. The deck from Scorpio, and Scorpio is bringing the 6 of Pentacles. So we have 6 of Cups and 6 of Pentacles. We have 8, and the 6 is the 14. That's Temperance. And Temperance is like, you have to find a middle way between fire and water. The dream and the ignition, or the fire to make this dream happening. So look at this, right? This energy is behind her, and it's like, she's kind of like, you see, she looks a little bit like her. And so you have this fire behind you, and you have the 6 of Pentacles behind you, which is, by the way, Moon in Taurus. And so you have the 14, and then the 5 behind. The 5 and the 6 is the 11, a portal. You need to open up a portal. And the portal is important, that you can open yourself up into Pisces, which is the ultimate cavalier, you know, the person that brings really roses and love letters and all the dream that you hope to have. Okay, so you see, there is a desire, but there's also the desire to be in this circle, right? In this success, Moon in Taurus, being grounded in the relationship, the 6-6 portal. And the 12 and the 8 is the 20, and the 20 is Pluto. Pluto is, of course, now in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the star. So realize that there is a big message here for you, and that Pisces is bringing you that message. That Pisces is bringing you, yes, see what it is that you want. Now, the Mother Peace Tarot, I want to see clarification. You get the 10 of Wands to the left, down. And the 10 of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius. So what is the 10 of Wands saying to Pisces, to the Knight of Cups? So the 12 and the 10 is the 22. Very clear, Uranus. Uranus, which is now actually in Gemini. And Gemini is the lovers, right? Is that desire for this relationship. And the communication that we need to express that. And still though, the 10 of Wands is saying, well, be careful. Saturn, right? Saturn, Sagittarius. It's like, don't do too much, right? Don't overdo. The 22 is then a portal, but I can also create the 12, the 3 and the 10 is then the 13, a transformation, and the 4 is left. So understand that we have different ways to get to the end number, because the 22 I don't calculate together. It's a portal. So the 10 of Wands is literally saying, well, he's coming and he's making the effort, but the effort is not really touching you. It's not really shifting you. What it's saying to the 6 of Cups. The 10 and the 6 is 16. And the 16 we know, that is that moment where we awaken, right? Where there is like, okay, I cannot continue dreaming about it. I need to take action, but the actions are that you maybe have to take a trance dance all night to realize that this dream is maybe an utopia. Or it's then the 7 when we calculate together, and it's an emotional intelligence that is actually seeing this as a dream, and that you are hoping that this dream is happening because you have the 10 of Wands and you had here this fire behind it. The 8 and the 10 is the 18, and that's the moon. The moon is literally bringing you this kind of idea. Okay, what is then happening here? The 10 and the 8. The 18, like I said, the moon is literally pushing something in you, opening doors in you, and you are wanting to experience something of significance. And then the 9 is here, and the 9 is the Hermit. So learn to understand how you take action, how you make these actions sacred symbols. The fire goddess. What is then coming here through the 6 of Pentacles? Again, the 10 and the 6, the 16. The same way with the 6 of Cups. You have a 6-6, right? A 6-6 is be creative in the way you love yourself, in the way you accept yourself emotionally, but also physically. 16 then become the 7, then it's a 7-7 portal, 2 times the 7. 2 times the 7, have the emotional intelligence to know what it is that you want. And now what is this card saying to you? The Queen of Swords. The 7 and the 6 is the 13. There's a transformation in the way you do things. Recognize that. The 4 is left. Become stable in this platform that you're sitting on, in this throne that you're sitting on. But do not cut heads off anymore, because that's where people run away from you. Right, the 12 becomes the 3. The 3 and the 7 is the 10. And the 10 we know is a new cycle. The 10 is here. So change things around and you will recognize that maybe there is someone coming. Maybe there is really a dream, and that this fire behind the dream and the success that you are hoping that is coming, or that he is successful, that he is rich, that he has everything that you dream of, is like, recognize that sometimes it's not as fulfilling as you think it should be. Okay, so now the King of Cups. We're going to look at the High Priestess that is coming from his deck. And that's Lilith. Lilith is the wild woman. And so the 8 and the 2, the 10, a new cycle. And it's beautiful because you are the mystic, and now you're getting Lilith, and you're getting like this really deep level of I am understanding in the 10. That's a new 1, the 1 and the 0, the Fool. And of course we see what is coming from the deck of the High Priestess. We get the Ace of Cups, and that's then altogether an 11. And this 11, you have that portal to understand that the one and only cup is bringing you a strong love, a love that is connected with the intuition, right? And we have here the 2 and the 1, a 3, the 3 and the 8 is also the 11. And the 11 is your portal to go through, because the 2 looks like an 11. And so understand that this is a really holy moment. Now I want to see what is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing, because I mean here I cannot look deeper into the High Priestess because I got from her deck the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is clear. Here comes a deep, deep, deep love, a self-love, a holy love, right? And this is your cup. So the intuition brings you the cup. But I want to know what is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing, and you get the 9 of Swords upright to the right. And so the 9 and the 1 is the 10. And here's a 10, the 2 and the 8 is a 10. But the 9 of Swords is Mars in Gemini. Mars is the fighter and Gemini is the communication. So communicate very clearly to the universe what it is that you want, and don't bring your nightmares into the love that you maybe have experienced. The love that you want to experience, it's still waiting for you. It doesn't have all these nightmares attached to it, because the 1 and the 9 creates the 10, and the 9 is connected with the Hermit, and the Hermit is holding the light. And see the light in these nightmarish situation. And so it's clear right here, we see that you have a nightmare, that you are not feeling so clear with what it is that you want. You are having your intuition and you want really a love, but something is blocking it. The 9. Let go of the 9, right? The 9 is the one that gives itself up. Otherwise, it would be the 9-11 or 11-9 as a date. Or a 10-10, which is then also the 11, and 2 times the 0, which is Uranus, which is the Fool. So see clearly that the intuition is coming, that Lilith is here, that the Ace of Cups is here, but also the 9 of Swords. This like nightmarish situation that you are having. Mars in Gemini. Right? There is a communication that brings a nightmare to you. Let go of that. But of course, I want to see individual what is the 9 saying to the High Priestess. And so the 9 is saying to the High Priestess, the only way to get out of the nightmare is by learning to be a spiritual, adept person. Here is the 2 and the 9 is the 11. Here is really clearly the portal, right? To overcome these nightmares, you need to go deeper within. Then what is the 9 of Swords saying to the Ace of Cups? Trust the Ace of Cups. Trust this one and only love, right? That's the one. With the 9, it becomes a 10. The 10 has attached a 0, and so maybe the 0 is scaring you because the Fool is beginning. New beginnings, new adventures, and sometimes we're a little scared of that. The 10, right? So the 10 is here. And what is the 9 saying to the 8? The 9 and the 8 is the 17. That's the star. The sun is a dwarf star. And so the sun in Virgo is bringing you, yes, the 9, the Hermit, knows how to look deep within, knows how to see the light, is always within. And then, of course, the 17 turns into the 8 and you appear. You are left. And so trust that. Trust that this message that is coming to you is important, and that sometimes these nightmares are important. Not everything can be happy and perfect. No, sometimes situations have to be difficult for you to really find that you hold the Ace of Cups and that you are connected with the Ace of Cups. The 8 and the 1 is the 9. So you can overcome the 9 through the Ace of Cups. You learn that true love lies deeper, deeper, deeper within. So go within. Learn everything there is to learn. Like a High Priestess, she learns. You're the mystic. Transformation and secrets. Go deeper into the secrets of this world and learn as such to become Oda. Wow. What a message. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the Sun in Justice. That's when you get then the new moon, both of you, right? The Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.